Hello guys, and today we're going to be talking about how to solve the null pointer exception with your container in your Minecraft modding. So, here's the problem. Your code is running on both the server and the client, right? So you run the game, and and what happens is okay. So here was my scenario, right? I run the game. If this will stop, I run the game, right? And it loads up, everything loads up, everything's initialized, as done here. Minecraft pops up and it starts constructing all the mods, it starts loading all the resources and rendering stuff and loading up the model loader, and initializing the Minecraft engine, completing the Minecraft initialization, and then eventually, in a few seconds, it finally loads up. Then you go into your single player world, you go in here, and then you try to access. So in this case, when I left click right now, what's going to happen is it's going to call this function, or yeah, this method, um, and when I click it, it gives me null, right? Or in your case, it'll throw a null pointer exception. Now it took me quite a while to catch this, and now that I've caught this, I'll know to look at it next time. But they might look like the same command, but if you go all the way to the left, you'll see it says client and server. And on the client side it says null, and on the server side it doesn't. Now, by logic, this means that somehow the client isn't loading up whatever this line is referring to. In this case, it's the inventory slot. So it's not loading that up, but you need to sync it. So what do? Well, instead of syncing it, what you can do is make a new line and do if the world is not, I can't type, world dot is remote, then we can do that. And then if we just take our code and put it in this if statement, put everything in this if statement. Now if we run it, so let's stop the program and run it again. Sorry, still have allergies. And once it loads up, and this should just work for anything. You see I did it here on block activated. It says world is remote, and I'll explain to you what it does. But essentially all you need is this if statement, and it should solve all of your problems. If your problem is specifically with syncing upon initialization. Now the weird part was that when I entered into the container, or entered into the toilet essentially, but it's missing its textures, it would then sync itself, and then I wouldn't get that error. But if I load in, and you'll see when I left click, instead of saying two things, one for the client, one for the server, and the client is null right now, but it's not printing the client one because it's not being called, because it's only activating this code or invoking this code if the world is remote, and in this case, and remote meaning like it's remotely the server. So essentially, here, let me left click it again. If I keep left clicking, now if I go down here, you can see it's only the server, and because it's accessing it from the server directly, it's not throwing that exception. And you can see what happens. It's the item, the number of items, the item itself, and whatever this thing is. So if I were to take 32 out, now we have 32 in the toilet, and we left click, you can see now it says 32. Of course it's throwing an exception for me, that's just because it's missing textures, but that's not the point. But now you can see it says 32. If we take out more, and we left click it, now it'll say 16, so on and so forth. I hope this helped. Sorry, it's so dark. It's time, set day. Sorry it's so dark, but anyways, hope this helped. So, in conclusion, all you have to do is make sure that it's not calling it on the client. So just type in that extra, I call it a failsafe. It's just type in surrounding your code. If the world is remote, then if the world is not remote, then you access it. Sorry, my bad. When I explained it before, you can skip this part and the video. You're done. But my explanation was wrong. If the world is not remote, so basically remote in this case means the client. So if the world is not the client, is not accessing the client, then we don't call the stuff. Fuck, I explained it wrong again. You know what? Ignore my explanation. You get it. Hope this helped. Yeah, that's it. Hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.